يا أخ طيب يعني أكثر الناس يعني هم متر يجوا هذا المكان ويقفوا يراعوا للعمل. يعني الحين أنت واقف مراي، لو واحد شخص يجي لعندك يقول لك بدي هذا المكان وتطلع وتحمله وترجع لك. طيب يا أخي أنت جالس هنا ممكن أكثر من 15 دقائق ما فيش أحد، خلاص هذا العيشة. من ساعتين. إيش قال لي؟ Okay, so this motorcyclist is telling me sometimes he'll be posted up here and waiting for up to 2 hours, just sitting on his bike waiting for work, waiting for a passenger to get picked up on. So like, see, another situation arises that they're posted up, but they're posted up like literally like in the middle of the street. So this is a road that we're sitting on, and there's cars that try to come behind us, and sometimes it gets too flooded with motorists, but they don't care, they just sit here, and sometimes people get into fights and be like, hey man, I'm trying to work here, like, why are you coming from behind me and beeping the horn? But yeah, so sometimes get really backed up, and then there's buses here, we'll stop and try to pick up passengers, and then there's the motorists in front of the buses that's just stopping and posted up. So it's rough, man. ها؟ ما فهمش. مراسل يعني نص بنص لحالي، يعني عندي انا اشتغل لنفسي. Yeah, he's asking me if I was if I'm not mistaken, I think he was asking me if I was a journalist, and I told him I guess you can call me that. I work for myself. بكم اشتريت الموتور؟ 170,000. يعني كم دولار؟ So I just asked him how much he bought his motorcycle for, and he said around $1,200 US dollars. Yeah. So the next question I'm going to ask him is, how in the world did he manage to gather up $1,000 and whatnot in order to purchase it? يعني كم جلس تشتغل لما حصلت $1,200 تشتري لك موتور؟ كم جلس تشتغل؟ كيف؟ أزيد من سنة. So I asked him how long he worked just to manage to get up to that price and raise that up the money. He said I worked more than a year just to raise $1,000. He worked, he said, more than a year just to raise $1,000 US dollars. So a lot of you in back home in America or Canada, Australia, UK, think about that, guys. I mean, the average GDP here in Yemen per capita is like $1,600. And 44% of the citizens here in Yemen live below the poverty line. It's just an insanely impoverished country. It hurts my heart, man. It's so sad to hear something like that, because you reflect on your life, when you go back home when I go back home to America, and I go back to my regular routine, and I'm working, studying and whatnot, going to school, it makes you think twice about what you complain about, like, holy moly, like $1,000 US dollars. Like, I know you guys are probably thinking at home, thinking like, I make that in 2 weeks, or I make that in a week. It's crazy, man. It's just unbelievable, yo. بارد عندكم؟ Yeah. I'll tell them that it's cold, it's a little chilly. Especially like coming from America, right? Like, I'm from the state of Delaware, so like just yesterday they got like 12 inches of snow. Like, I know what cold is, you know what I mean? I get 4 seasons. I know what hot is and I know what cold is. So when I come here to Yemen and everyone's saying, oh, it's so cold, I kind of underestimate it a little bit. I'm like, yeah, it's cold, but at the same time, like, dude, like when you breathe, there's like no like smoke coming out of your mouth. So like, that's how I gauge coldness. So I'm thinking to myself, like, it can't be that cold. But once you're out here and you go about your business, you're like thinking to yourself, like, dang, it is kind of cold. I don't know if I got this on camera, but a little bit ago, the guy on my left offered me some bats, and I was just like, Nah, I'm alright. I'm good. Because, yo, if I chew that stuff, man, I'll get sick. Allah. Subhanallah. He's telling me sometimes you'll be, you know, here working for, you know, hours on end, you know. He said from 3 to 9. I think he said from 9 to 3 and 3 to 9. But nonetheless, it's a lot of hours. And sometimes he says, you know, you won't even you won't even manage to make 500 riyals, which is basically around $2.50. لا ما أخزن لا أخزن لا أستطيع إذا أخزن أمرض. Yeah. He asked me if I chew qad. I said no. If I chew it, I'll get sick. He says if I don't chew, I'll get sick. You know, like, it's amazing, you know, when you conversate with some of these people, you know, like, they're so less fortunate than you. You're so much more blessed than these people are, but at the same time, they have, like, such a positive outlook, such a positive attitude on life, you know. They just have such, like, great sarcasm, you know, in the way they talk, and just outgoing people, you know. It's just amazing to think that they have so little, yet they're so happy, which is so mind-boggling to me that I still, to this day, I haven't figured out how someone can possibly be that way, you know. They're so rich in a sense that they're content with what they have, you know. You know, people from all walks of life, you know, people, you know, here working with, you know, as a motorist. You know, some of them have beards, some of them don't. Some of them are young, some of them are old. Some of them work 2 jobs. Some of them might be like a teacher in the morning, but in the afternoon they come and do this just for get some side money. You know, it's just amazing. You know, amazing to think how much they hustle, man.